Hey guys, it's Roy Mason with my very first game review, Double Dragon on II Arcade. This game was first released through Technos Japan in 1987, distributed through Taito. Double Dragon was a game that was always pretty important to me as a kid. It was something that I remember because I could play the game through the entire game on 1/4, which was pretty good because that made it cheap. But kids were literally lined out the door, lining up to play this particular game. So let's take a look at the II Arcade version of Double Dragon. This game was such a big game changer for beat-em-ups that had already been released, like Kung Fu Master and Shinobi, that had been released around that same time period. But this changed fighting games going forward. The sound is just as I remember it as well, and the II Arcade 1.21 gigawatts gives the rumble that I remember hearing in the arcade.
1.21 gigawatts!
And one of the big parts of Double Dragon for me was always the responsiveness of the controls. If I played a machine, the joystick had to work right, the button combinations had to not stick, and the II Arcade team does not disappoint with this. And the fact that they were able to restore the original punch, jump, kick button configuration at our request. So thanks II Arcade team for coming through. The only criticisms that I would have of the game is that there is no global leaderboard yet, but there is, of course, the II Arcade League's high scoreboard, which is something that we can definitely get behind, and still a good thing until maybe someday we get those global leaderboards. Now, some people have criticized that the game still has a significant lag. Now, I'm going to counter those people because honestly, the lag is part of the game. It's part of the technology of the day. That's the way it was when we played it. And eventually they were able to correct that in Double Dragon 2, which moves much faster, but it's part of the game. And removing that lag to me is like taking the pops and the cracks out of vinyl. It was part of the recording. It was part of the time, or what I would say as history. Some people get a little hung up at the bridge. Basically hit the Abobo either side with elbows, isolate him on the bridge, and then slide down directly and block the kick. Also, less elbows means more points. So use the elbow if you want to get to the end, but if you want points, use the kick more. With the roundhouse kick will work a little bit better to rack up more points, and use your energy to at the end of stages to be able to get more points. To be conscious of what our kids see, the beginning is a little brutal, a little bit more than we want to see of Marion. Other than that, the violence is pretty much PG-13. No blood, no gore, no severed limbs or anything like that, like Mortal Kombat. So pretty tame for the most part. Overall, the game works pretty well on the II Arcade, and it's a winner for me. So thanks, Jongshin, for bringing this game. And of course, the best news yet is that it's standard with every version of the II Arcade.